the shooting, we focus. Won't miss, that's culture. Check. Can't break down if we rollin'. Won't quit, that's culture. Check. It's a trend, the moment we in motion. Legit, that's culture. Check. Speak loud, no wonder we boatin'. We lit, that's culture.
Check. What up, world? Welcome to another episode of the Culture Chat. We are back in effect. Y'all so excited, but I am too. It's been a long time since I've seen y'all.
It's been a long time, man.
Well, how y'all been doing with this quarantine life?
I've been chilling.
It took you a while to think about that?
Yeah, because, like, I haven't been doing anything. I'm like, what happened? But, yeah, I've just been chilling, sleeping.
I think that's really just the answer for everybody.
It pretty much is, man.
Like,
there's not much you can do unless
what?
You out here in these streets.
Oh, absolutely. What's going on right now? And if I am out in the streets, I got...
Oh, you got your little bat mask?
Oh, you absolutely.
Okay.
You got to say, strap.
It's a little bit too late for that, Miles. You came in contact with a lot of people.
Oh, okay. You know what? Screw this then.
I don't really say.
All right, I try. Whatever. But yeah, out in these streets, man, all this on the protests and everything. I know it's not a touchy subject, but
I feel like we got both of our opinions out on our Instagram. So, Kim, how are you feeling about this? Like, about everything that's going on? Like, what's your outlook on everything? On
the protest, of course, I think it's the peaceful protests are good, obviously. Look, I ain't gonna lie. When they started protesting, I knew there were gonna be riots and looters out there. At some point, I'm just honest with myself. I knew that was gonna happen at some time. But as far as what people are protesting about, and the people that are out there now, the younger people, and of course we just have to talk about it frankly. It's good to see a lot of like white people our age.
There's a lot.
It is great.
It's a lot of them.
It's great to see like literally like even in Tampa, just like looking at the riots on people's Instagram stories, like it's not just blacks, it's not just whites, it's everybody, which is like amazing.
Different countries are even getting involved too.
Yeah,
I think that's what's really getting me the most. When I saw Paris, Europe, all them places,
there's a lot of them getting involved. It's exciting to see because you're like, man, this is. I think compared to years prior. You know, we only saw things happening in America where you see protests, of course, the civil rights movement and other things like that. But now to see kind of something so big and worldwide, of course, via social media, you kind of start wondering, like, well, wait a minute.
Do you think it's because of social media that it's more like, you know, there's more emphasis towards it because they want to be like on the videos and just for the gram? Like,
I think it helps.
You think that's why?
I think it helps. Now you do. Oh, wait.
That is a great. That is a great thing to bring up. That part.
Without question, you got some people who, you know, they're
social's going crazy right now. But it's just like, are you actually really doing it? Are you out there for the videos, or are you out there to actually protest?
It'd be damned if
I'm not questioning anybody. I'm just putting that out there.
No question.
Just being honest.
That is great. Hold our black people accountable.
With as many people as there are out here, you would have to think at least one of them is probably, oh yeah, I just want to do this so I could be on the gram with other people.
And if you don't want to say that, you got businesses out here. Me personally, do I really believe these businesses really care about the Black Lives Matter movement? I want to say yes.
I feel like they have to.
Exactly. Why do you have to instead of I want to?
Because it's affecting business.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's the part of I'm just doing it just because. Mm-hmm. Same for the people who just, you know what, I want to post me holding up a Black Lives Matter banner or something on Instagram.
Selfies.
Yeah, selfies and people smiling and stuff.
You know, it's like one of those things where it's like,
they're
I
twerking.
can see you're posting like facts and
they
information.
Are twerking.
But when people are posting like of themselves with like a sign like and like a whole caption, it's like, were you doing that before that, or it's just like, and you're black, and you're doing that before that? Like, are you doing it now because it's like a trend, like, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing.
A lot of that don't surprise me because again, you have to look at the masses of people who are out here protesting. You got to figure. I remember there's an old saying: there's always one bad apple in the bunch.
Oh,
and I don't even want to call them bad, but you know, there's just always somebody.
Yeah, and that goes for race too. Like even like in blacks, whites, like there's always that small percent in each race that fucks it up. Excuse my language for all the other good.
It's just gonna happen.
It is what it is.
It's inevitable. Now, what I will say, and this is I guess a strong message to black youth and people of color anywhere. Actually, I would hope from these protests and from everything you have seen out here that we start getting more involved politically. as opposed to putting our kids so much in football camps and basketball. Nothing's wrong with that. Obviously, I played basketball, and you guys play sports and all that. Nothing's wrong with that. Obviously, it's extracurricular stuff. However, I think we kind of can slow it down on the amount of rappers and the amount of athletes we have, and kind of start putting more of our focus on a political and academic standpoint. Not to say that we haven't, and not to say that there aren't people out there successful, and not discredit any black people that are out there politically right now making a difference, economically too.
True.
But I think we can put more of an emphasis. We have more, if you will, bodies to spare. I hate to say that considering what's going on, but we have more people to spare to put in political realms now, as opposed to, oh yeah, he just want to do this, or he just wants to rap, or he just wants to play basketball. Go make a difference in your community, actually, within your local politics first. I'm not saying you got to run for president.
It starts local.
Yeah, that's really what makes the difference.
The small things.
Your city halls, commissioners. Yeah, matter of fact, I think Trayvon Martin's mom, if I'm not mistaken, is running for
correct.
commissioner.
Yep, she is.
So things like that can make actually a small but big difference in the future. So I think that's what we should.
I was reading an article about a city I'm from Jersey, and I live like 10 minutes from like Camden, New Jersey, and that's one of the most dangerous cities in the world. But what they did was, a couple of years back, I read an article about this. They literally let go of all their police officers. Every single one of them got fired, and they rebuilt the police system, and they rebuilt the city, and like the crime rate's down. Like they literally had to rebuild a whole city.
But now that you mention that, I have been seeing the whole defunding of police thing, and if I'm not mistaken, President Trump dropped an executive order of something today about.
I don't understand why this guy is in office.
It
Shoot, I voted. So
I
voted.
I
know I ain't vote for his ass.
And look, at this point, if you questioning why or how he got in office, man, it just is what it is, and you have to deal with the hand you've been dealt with.
And this is why this is the time for. And I heard a lot of people, and I'm not judging them. They say, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna start voting now." I could say, but I'm glad you got the picture now. Take this time to vote, y'all. That's all I'm saying. Take the time to vote, because I know people think, oh, one vote don't make a difference. Look here, man. If you think one vote didn't make a difference and you didn't vote and he still got in office, why not just do it this time then and see what happens?
I saw think it was like another article or a picture. It was saying like the percentage of like, it was like this candidate won by 79,000 votes. It was like 85,000 blacks didn't vote. So it's like if you would have voted, they wouldn't be in office.
And that actually happened in this election. A lot of black people did not vote compared to the one when Obama won both terms.
That's actually an interesting topic y'all bring up about voting. It's crazy to think. I actually saw this on Twitter. I don't know who, but it was just a post on Twitter of people talking about the differences in the black communities when we go and vote. The long lines and whatnot, and the people really not having the patience to be out there, if you will, and just different things.
Don't let them roadblocks stop you from doing it. Like if you have to stand in there for 3 hours, 2 hours, do it.
Yeah,
don't let that stop you from voting.
I saw somebody saying that, that could be discouraging and stuff like that, and I mean,
it can be.
I hear you, but at some point in time, you're gonna have to make that sacrifice. You
gotta sacrifice that 2 hours of your life if you want that piece of 20, 30, 40, 50 years of your life. So
now another person too, actually, who I think had a celebrity rather, who had the most profound say on everything that's been going on, obviously has been Dave Chappelle.
Of course. Did you watch his?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I know Miles felt a little.
I think I shared it on my Instagram story too.
Yeah, I'm like. Well, I saw Dave Chappelle go on it, and then he said some stuff that I do fully believe in, especially about the celebrities. Yeah. Why is anyone asking, well, what are the celebrities going to say about it? Da-da-da. Granted, they said everything about coronavirus, or stay in the house. Why are they speaking out about this? He made a point. Who the hell cares about what a celebrity says right now when you have blatant evidence and you see what's going on in the world? You don't need no celebrity to tell you this is what is crazy out here.
That's how I think that's a good majority of how American society is built when it comes to celebrities, for us anyway. Mm-hmm. Just in America anyway. We look at a lot of our celebrities to, I guess, give us the vocal points or be a vocal point for us to be like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna speak up for you guys. But
I'll be damned.
We thank you for sure for that do it. But it's like, how could you to a degree?
I'd be damned.
You kind of haven't been out here like that in the streets, like that. Not taking away nothing from nobody. I don't want nobody acting stupid just because I said that, but. You haven't been out here, kind of amongst the people like that on a regular day-to-day basis.
Not day-to-day.
You live a different lifestyle. Mm-hmm. happy you're speaking up, but
they're out there marching. I'm seeing a lot of I've seen some celebrities go out there with the mask on.
They've been out there though. They've actually gotten out there and been out there. We thank you for it, but I think we need more of our political figures to make more of a stance, more so than our celebrities.
We need more political African Americans out there, which we don't really have.
Again, no shot.
Which goes back to what Cam says. Start educating your children instead of putting them in sports 24/7. Like, put other emphasis on their life besides just sports.
Yeah, and look, I'm not gonna lie. I grew up in a predominantly black community in Miami, and went to church in a predominantly black community. I fortunately had parents that went to all the PTA meetings and everything for me when I was in school, and I actually remember one time this older gentleman told me. As a kid, he was like, it's sad to see all these people and these parents show up to these Optimus football games and these basketball games, and you don't see one of their asses here at these PTA meetings. Oh, and that was an older. That's not coming from my mouth. That was an older black gentleman.
Any PTA meeting, you see Karen and Susan.
I remember saying
you see Karen, Susan, and Patricia there. You don't see any of your mom.
But it's funny. As a kid, I didn't even realize what he was talking about. I was playing sports, so in my head, I'm like, well, my parents are here just because they just want to see what I'm doing. But
they didn't care about the system or what's going on in the school. I'm not saying they didn't care. I'm just saying like
that wasn't their focus.
Right.
I don't think it was. I don't think. Now, granted, unfortunately, you have some households where you have single mothers, just keeping it real, where they can't get there to a PTA meeting. Mm-hmm. They can't necessarily get to a parent-teacher conference on time, or they just, they can't do it from whatever. But, man, if we could make the sacrifice and the effort to invest really, truthfully in our youth and in ourselves, black businesses and spreading the black dollar is cool, but I think we should start with the mind first before we start moving to spreading the dollar amongst each other. That's
but with that, I fully agree with you about the mind. Definitely, education is power. Absolutely. But the economy, and I think we talked about it one time. Yeah. That black dollar, affects this country economically.
I agree to say
drastically. I mean, we
have a big.
This ain't no shot about black people. We built this country. We bring in the most of the money for this country. Let's be honest. We spend them. Come on.
We have a big cultural influence.
Hella.
In the country, and
I feel like this culture of the country is black.
I love bringing up the fact of how
I'm not saying political, but like the way we dress, like our lifestyle, like it's more geared to the black community than any other community. Like music, fashion, like anything like that, it's geared to what we're doing. The braiding of the white women's hair, like I mean that's the thing right now. It's the trend.
Let's go.
It's like it's the cultural of America is black, but it's like you don't want to accept the actual person.
Absolutely.
The color of a person's skin, but it's just like
they love everything about the culture. I tell all the time, y'all were, if you go back when y'all have us enslaved and everything, y'all were raised on what cooking? The soul food. There was only the black people in there cooking for these white people, and then they try to remake and try to cook it themselves once we all went our separate ways now.
Green bean casserole ain't gonna cut it.
Oh, absolutely! Don't bring that to the cookout.
But
don't bring that to the cookout. I'm not eating it.
Man.
I don't think I ever had that.
I'm not eating no casserole.
I don't think I've ever had a casserole.
I never had a casserole in my life. I never have.
No, okay, so I made this really good French toast casserole. It's like a breakfast.
Now that's different.
That was good.
I could try that because that's sweet. I like sweet.
But in like actual dinner, like with green beans and like onions.
They just put random stuff in it and put it in the oven.
I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is the plan about this? So yeah, that's just. I love to always bring that up about how the history of white people were brought up on when it comes to food on our cooking. I just love it. It really just makes me just be like. Y'all understand? Y'all did a lot. Y'all took a lot from us. Y'all learned how to get the y'all governments and everything for the Native American tribes when y'all first came to the country. They learned from them a lot.
They take.
Oh my God! Don't tell no one that this is actually the Native Americans' land. They go crazy.
No, aside from that, you know what it boils down to again? Who's in political power of position in the country? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. If you're in a game, you don't readjust the game to cater to you. No. You actually have to play the game and win the game by the way the game works.
Yes.
So, unfortunately, I hear, and I'm not saying we should settle for how things are systemically here.
Oh, no.
By no means necessary. What I'm saying is, though, if we're looking to make that impact within the system, we're going to have to get up in there.
Absolutely.
By the masses, we're going to have to just kind of rush up in there.
It comes down to this. When you realize this, I'm going to say this. with white America, the privilege. When you really look at it, like from a standpoint, it's like coming in, you took land from the Native Americans. You took slaves, Africans from their country, and brought them to America with you to take over a land that was not yours. You bring these slaves here, and with no recollection of anything, you teach them their ways. You teach them a system. You take from them, and then you let them go when they're freed, and then you want to take from their culture. You just take and take and take and take, and once you realize that you can't just take something from somebody, like fix yourself, you know, like nothing is yours. Like if you really think about it, we minorities built this country, so it's one of those things where it's like once you realize that you can't take anymore, that's when it's like, and I feel like that's what's so great about this generation right now is like we're not letting you guys take anything anymore. Like the older generation now, like it's not about you taking it anymore. Like we're gonna stand up. Like even right now, like the rallies and stuff, like we're not gonna let you just do this. Like we're actually gonna stand up and fight for what we believe in, and like we're not gonna take from us anymore. Like this is ours. This is what we stand for. Stop taking and stop killing us and stop taking from us.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say this because I don't want also no one to get any offended. We're not coming at every single white person that walks this face of the earth. No, please. And I know some people were gonna be like, "Oh, y'all always
literally like."
We're talking about those who really do not understand or do not want to understand or are still living their own time.
Yeah, it's for people who
that's the problem.
Aware. I know a lot of y'all are, but there is that few percent who don't.
Not even few. There's a good amount.
Yeah, a good amount who aren't aware and they don't want to accept the fact that like. They can't take anymore.
Oh my gosh!
And again, I'm not trying to double back on just the disclaimer. We know it's not everybody.
Yes,
we're not talking about everybody.
I have a lot of white friends. Yeah. I have my the bestest friends are white. Like
best.
You know, so it's like so it's like I know a lot of great white. I know a lot of great people in general. So
absolutely.
This is for the people who don't get it. And it's a lot of them, you know.
That's all.
That's it.
It's not. It's again. It's not an attack, and we can't attack anybody.
That's all it is.
It's just a conversation. If you can't have the conversation,
it's all about the conversation. And here's the thing with that, Cam. When you bring up the conversation, it happens a lot where they want to shift it to something else. When they say, no, stay on this topic. Yeah, well, no, y'all black, y'all kill each other, y'all do this and everything. Y'all want to freeload it. Okay, well, we're not on it. We're talking about how the whole country or how we've been socially, we're going through social injustice and everything like that. Yeah. Stay on this topic. It loves to get shifted a lot.
A lot of
times in conversation. And that's why nowadays when they're talking, if you have someone who's open to listen, because honestly, I'm sorry, but you're never going to understand what it is to be black in America. No. As much as you want to say this is a free country, this is supposed to be this country's supposed to be great and everything's supposed to be so blissful, it's not really like that.
It's like a free country when it comes to your thoughts and like you being able to like think freely, but when it comes to your actions and your justice and like you as a person, your physical, like you're not free.
That's a good way to put it, actually. Great, because we're all blessed to be in America than other countries. Yeah, we're all blessed to be in America.
We're free to speak our minds. We're free to have our own like mindset. Like that's what's free in America. But like your color, your skin isn't gonna make you free.
Absolutely not. Here's the thing I gotta also say. This movement actually, and I hate calling it a movement because it's been going throughout the fabric of time, but
uproar.
The uproar now of this generation now, because this is a history book. This is a chapter in the history books we're living right now. But
I'm sorry, to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
But I think you actually said that to me yesterday. We had a conversation yesterday when you mentioned that to me about this.
This is gonna be in history books.
Maybe it's me. I'm not trying to be a jackass or anything, but I would think people would understand how tired minorities are, people of color are, when we say this, something like this has to go down in the history books again. This is not something that is just getting in history books, Miles.
No, you're right.
Yeah. Yes, it's going to go down.
It's got to go down like documented.
I feel like Miles means like the year itself.
No, the documentation.
That's what I mean. But I'm saying as far as it, what we're actually talking about being put in the history books, you would think by now
it's been there.
You get what I'm
saying? The gist of it has been there.
I would think by now, and I would think by now we were talking about flying cars.
Oh, we all thought. I thought 2020. You couldn't tell me I was gonna be in a hover car or something.
But we really have to go back out there and do something like this.
Yeah.
Like, yo, like, have we? Those who fail to learn the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's an old history.
All I gotta say is for those who don't care to listen or understand or just don't care, I will say this: you're messing with the wrong generation. Like all of the older, you know, like back in the Confederate, like the racists, like all that kind of stuff. Like you're messing the people above. Like you're messing with the wrong generation. Like this generation is fighting back, and it's not going to stop fighting back. So.
Well, can I ask you this? When you said about this generation, I feel like because this generation there's more resources than they had back then, but that's not discredit.
No. It's something different. I'm just saying. I'm just talking to the people who don't get it now. Like,
okay.
Like you're messing like.
Trump, who are in this generation? Okay, I see. What you're saying.
Sorry, I kind of went off talking.
Okay, I got you.
Sorry. But you're messing with the wrong generation. Like we're fighting back, and we're not gonna stop fighting back. Like you're not gonna take this from us, and we're not gonna let you take this from us. So it's like just give up. Just give up. But like I know, honestly, I feel like all of this is generated from like the older, conservative white people who want to still hold on to what's left of America. But you have to realize America's in a shift right now, and it's changing.
Oh yeah, everything's gonna die out.
And your ways are dying out.
It's definitely gonna die out.
I remember I told somebody the other day.
Not right away, but
not
right away. But it's gonna take some years.
You guys are gonna end up being the minority and the majority at some point.
Actually, Brooke, to touch on a point that you made, I actually was confused in 2016. Now, I'll tell you why. It's not just because Donald Trump was elected in. Fine. I was confused as how we went from a president that was so progressive in Barack Obama, or considered to be so progressive and left, and then it's like we went to a whole new realm. You know what I mean? Of just like
I feel like they're just fucking with us.
Yeah, it almost felt unreal. I was like, really? Wait, we did 8 years with such a progressive president. You even had LGBTQ rights, you know, that were put in place, and things that were put in place for all types of communities, actually, not just minorities. And then to see it kind of go to something where we're bringing back old, if you will, the old America, to make America great again, if you will.
There's a lot of other white presidents.
Do you think they're doing that to test it to see if it'll still stick, if it's still there?
Honestly, I have.
I feel it doesn't. Honestly, it doesn't make any sense to me.
No, that's what I'm saying. I have no idea. I'm still confused from 2016.
Trying to test if their ways are still effective, and obviously it's not effective.
It is interesting.
I can't answer that question. That's why I said I can't answer.
I don't know because they had a black man all of a sudden switch it up. Because I was always told by my parents growing up they would have a white woman before a black man. When that happened,
do you think that they thought Barack Obama was going to fail?
Oh, absolutely.
You had, of course, you had.
A lot of people wanted.
And when they realized, oh shit, like it's not going the way they wanted to go.
It wasn't perfect, but yeah.
I mean, it wasn't perfect, but like, every president not. Definitely one of the better presidents that we've had in general.
Here's my thing, though. You think about it. We have to be honest with ourselves. Black America alone did not vote Barack Obama in.
Right.
We're a minority in the country, obviously. So that means we had a great deal of white voters, Latino voters, and so on and so forth that helped get this man in office. But then, like I said, there was a confusion in me in 2016 when you saw those masses of people that wanted to be progressive and see him in the office, and then that same mass turned around and went back the other way.
But look, okay.
Look
at the Democratic Party. Look what they had as options. They had Bernie Sanders, who wasn't even a Democrat. He was a radical of the radicals in that party. And you had Hillary Clinton, who was a woman. You know? So our options weren't the best options in the Democratic Party. So it's like they're going to go whether Donald Trump is the best option.
No, that whole election, it was pick your poison for this election.
It's always kind of like that.
And that stems down to the fact that we didn't vote.
Oh, that's back to that.
So it's just one of those things where it's like,
well, and on top of that, what added to some of my confusion in 2016, and I guess everybody should have been more politically educated at that time, was when we saw Hillary win the popular vote.
Yeah.
And then, we were told the electoral college.
I hate that
made
shit.
The deciding factor. I mean, it just is what it is, Miles.
I don't understand that. Why would you go by electoral? I don't understand how they made that a law or like the.
We don't.
Let's choose a small 0.00% of the people's opinions over the
whole
America,
country.
You know?
I don't get how
that's
that
more
overweighs.
effective, right?
I never got that.
I'm sorry to say this, but this is just a fact. Who was there at the table when many of these bylaws were being made for the country to start?
We know. Yep.
You have to, you know, what I mean, you have to be real. Unfortunately, we weren't there. A lot of our ancestors weren't there at that table when laws were being passed.
The laws weren't even for us.
The Constitution is based off of something in the 1700s.
So, you know, hey, it just is like I said.
We ain't in the 1700s anymore.
Like
we in 2020.
If you're in a game, you just have to play.
Who was that created by? Like you said.
Wow, that's a good way to put it. This country is hypocritical. This country is really hypocritical.
Again.
Real quick, let me ask you just a little take off. We've been all very.
Yeah.
How do y'all feel also about it's affecting sports? Now, granted, coronavirus is affecting sports a lot, but recently the NBA season, as some of y'all may know, but if y'all don't, is supposed to come back July 31st. Now, and
they just need to stop.
And it's supposed to be in Orlando, Florida. Now, here's the thing. I understand why the coronavirus is the issue. They don't want to come out. I get it, especially coming back to the state that has one of the most like rising cases. But the fact when Kyrie Irving just said about how like it will be a distraction if sports are brought back during a time of people fighting for injustice.
We don't need distractions. I agree. We don't need distractions.
Or against injustice.
I feel like this whole COVID. I think I saw on Twitter, like, this whole COVID thing made people realize, oh shit, what's really going on in the world, because you had time to sit back and relax, and your mind wasn't going anywhere, you weren't busy working, like, you were literally at home to see what's actually going on in the country.
But you know what? I actually understand. I told you I understand what Kyrie was saying. I get it. You know, you don't want to cause distraction, but if basketball was on TV and we're still talking about racial injustices and changing the system, I would think, hopefully, people would be smart enough to realize we give a damn about a basketball game if this is still going on. So I would hope people wouldn't use that as this is a distraction.
I have a question to why they're bringing back the NBA. Who are the majority of the viewers? Our generation, black community, a distraction for them to not go out and march. You know.
Again,
do you think that's a reason?
I can see why some people. Would think that can be like a
distraction.
A plan out the shit.
You know?
And
maybe
be real
I don't
with
know.
you. I sit on the fence with the whole thing, to be honest with you, because if I watch it, I watch it. If I don't, I don't. I don't actually watch. I think
at this point, they should just like end it and then just restart.
It'll be crazy. The reason why I think they're really trying to not just have no season is because won't that be like the first time ever in the league history? Literally not crowned in a year, not crowned a champion.
We've had lockouts, as you
We've
know.
had lockouts when the season started.
And they finished too.
But they'll be like, "Oh, this will actually be a year where there's no champion." So it's like, granted, it's like it is what it is.
Honestly, to me, 2020 doesn't even exist. It's like 2019.
Oh, when we talk about 2020, man, we in the end of June already. Hey, look here, this has been a year for.
Well, that's
I don't know what.
That's what I was saying when Kyrie made his statement about it being a distraction.
It is.
Cam, I know we want, but I know I'm gonna watch the games, but I'm not saying I'm not gonna ignore the whole.
I'm saying I hear you when you
the focal point of Black Lives Matter.
It is a distraction and whatnot. And then, like I said, you saw LeBron be like, "Oh well, no, we gonna bring the NBA back and play." Like I said, to me, it makes no difference because when you really look at it, if you sit down and watch a game for what you got, 2 hours,
3 hours, about 2.5, 3 hours
on average. Okay, fine. You do have a lot of other time during the day to do a lot of other stuff.
Yes.
So I'm not saying that it's a full distraction. I can see how it's a distraction, but at the same time, like I'm hoping that people now, considering everything that's going on, will be like, oh yeah, I may watch this or I may not watch it. I don't think I'm saying point. I don't put my thought process into that so hard because at the end of the day, it's not my profession and it actually don't put no money in my pocket.
It don't, but you know how sports has always been type
of course, a relief.
A relief, exactly.
Some form of relief, and I get it.
Especially during the coronavirus and all that.
People actually take this in like a progressive way and not just stop this and go to sports, but like just take it as it is.
We would hope it would.
I would hope you would because I'm saying like the attention that was placed on it, like, oh my goodness, the NBA's coming back. Everybody's getting ready to stop and look at this to see who wins the championship game, and it's like. I would hope people didn't do that. I wouldn't, in my personal opinion. If you do or if you don't, it don't matter to me. But I'm just saying, I don't think it would be that big of a distraction
I think
if you bought it back or if you didn't, because my mind hasn't been there thinking about.
I feel like
NBA
everything
stuff.
is just weird right now. So if they bring it back, it would just be weird.
It's new. It's like when they reopened the whole world. People went out right away to every bar, every club, every restaurant, and next thing you know, craziness happened. Now everything's slowing down again soon. Second wave, here it comes. Basketball or sports gonna be reopened again. People are going to be focused on the TV a little bit. Now, like you said, yes, it's only 3 hours really to watch it. Yeah, so that's the only plus I can hear from it. Okay, I had no problem because I know I'm going to watch it. So I'm going to watch. Okay, I see basketball. But then when it's over, you focus back on what's going on.
I never say that's
it shouldn't take away from it. Yeah. But I'm nervous, Cam. I really am nervous.
About what?
About really people all of a sudden stop. Because you can talk about, okay, it's only for 3 hours of a game. But after 3 hours of a game, what? You got analysts talking about it. You got people making a prediction. Because now people,
it's the fantasy.
Exactly. Because now people are back in their jobs who actually work for sports, can talk about it, and people we love hearing that stuff. So, and that's throughout the whole day.
Matter of fact, you know.
And I feel like the media is gonna especially like Bleacher Report, like things like that, they're going to be focused on sports and not the issue.
Now, the only way they can correct that is remember how the NBA wore the "I Can't Breathe" shirts during warm-ups
stuff like that.
If they wear a Black Lives Matter patch, they have to do something.
You still bring awareness.
I feel like they will. I feel like
they have. If they don't, that's stupid.
Yeah, I feel like they will.
But I'm just saying, as far as like I said, that argument that debate whether on Twitter and Instagram with them like, oh yeah, this is bringing this back, and I'm like. I haven't thought about it to be a debate. If you bring it back, throw it on TV. Fine. It's like people are already kind of doing other things and marching at the same time too. So if you want to bring the NBA back, so be it. I guess it is what it is. In my opinion, I'm not putting, like I said, and it's just because I'm not putting so much thought on watching a basketball game. Considering people are still out of work, considering there is still a pandemic going on, considering the fact that people are still fighting for systemic, injustices and whatnot, basketball hadn't even crossed my mind like that. But if you have athletes that want to get paid, you have them out there that want to do something.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, that's just me.
This is really like Brooke said, 2020 is different.
Yeah, it is.
It just comes down to people's mindset in this.
And your preferences.
What you organize. And I feel like if people approach this in a way where it's like, okay, I'm aware of this, what's going on right now, and don't let things like basketball or like little things like that distract you from what's really going on. Like, make sure like when this stuff does reopen up, that you're still out there, having these conversations with your white friends or like with your friends who aren't of your race. Like, make sure you're still having these conversations with these people. Like, don't stop fighting for your equality and don't stop communicating. Don't stop having these conversations with people. Like, that's the most important thing.
Hold up, bro. You actually know what made me laugh? Because I saw it today on Instagram was people talking about now understanding Colin Kaepernick's knee.
Oh. No, that always makes me laugh. I'll be like, y'all don't. Oh, my God. And then some of them don't get it still.
Some don't get it. But I remember, back then you had the whole debate about he's kneeling, he's disrespecting the flag, he's disrespecting the military, he's disrespecting America, he's disrespecting what we stand for. And I was like,
what do we stand for then? Racism?
He was telling America to stand up for the shit that you already made. Y'all supposed to be made the country off of.
But again, that comes from some people being born into looking at something and others being born into looking at something else. We knew all along the man wasn't saying disrespect the flag.
A military man told him to take a knee instead of sitting down.
He didn't burn the flag. He just took a knee. That's it.
He just simply took a knee.
But they say also, if you ask the military personnel, that's a sign actually of so much of respect. You know how someone dies and they want to take a knee, or when someone gets hurt in football, what do? They take a knee. It's a sign of respect. Actually, think about it.
Think about it. But I don't want to.
No, go ahead. I want to hear what you guys say now. You said it now, nigga.
Cam, say it.
All right, so.
Say it. Cam, say it.
All right, so.
One more sip.
No. So when. So.
Say
the KKK is supposed to be considered a Christian organization,
gosh.
right?
Yeah, I know where you're going with this. I know where you're going.
Why do they burn the cross?
I knew you.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking because. To me, as somebody who grew up in Christian faith, I would think, it's
a sacred symbol.
I was just wondering why they burn it. Of course, I don't support the KKK. I just have one curious question as to why they do that. And then Colin Kaepernick taking a knee was disrespecting a flag. I know they don't compare in what.
That boy, everybody sleep on that real quick.
That's just a question. Don't look at me no kind of way, damn it. Do not look at me. Man, Kim, why would you ask about them? I'm just asking because it was something on. It was just something that's been on my mind for a little while. But anyway, what you were saying.
No, you got me asleep. I'm worried.
That was just a question that I've always had. I used to be like, man, they were talking about.
You know, I saw a video that happened on Raw. And here's the thing. Also, is you guys see something, I just want to side note, that people post on their stories on social media. For example, like me, I read it, but then I also go research it before I even want to post it as in like I'm supporting it. Make sure we're understanding what is being posted and make sure we know the whole story and the truth behind everything before you just, oh, that looks nice, because it's just one snippet and you want to post it and you feel like you're doing something.
And I'm hoping, again, even just from the question I just asked, I would hope you guys realize we're not trying to be controversial with anybody up here. No. Just trying to simply have a conversation.
We're just trying to spark conversation. So like maybe if you see this, you'll have a conversation about something that we're talking about. Like we're not here to like bash anything. We're just here to talk about what's going on.
That's it.
So what we're talking about right now, we're just talking about things that are going on in the world right now. So don't take this as we're bashing everything. We're just talking about what's going on. Yeah. And if it happens to come off negative, then maybe what's going on in the world is negative, you know? So that's pretty much what it is. And
don't get mad because we're giving these disclaimers. Disclaimers can save your life out here because you will get canceled.
Oh yeah, no, that's for real. A lot of people will take something so crazy. That's what I say a lot of times.
You can get canceled out here nowadays.
So this world is very.
We're giving disclaimers because exactly. We're just asking questions. We're just having open dialogue.
Is it dialogue?
I think it's dialogue.
Same thing, right? Dialect.
It's the same. What y'all saying is the same definition, but as far as used in a sentence. We don't know which one. I personally don't know which one y'all supposed to use right now.
Anyway, same thing.
We done went to school.
I mean, I blame this.
It's the same thing.
I don't know.
It's the same dialect and dialogue.
No, because when someone says conversing, and what's the other one? You know, people get messed up. Conversate or converse, and people want to converse. Not a word.
It's the same thing. It's like they made up the motto.
Conversate is not a word.
Okay, I got it twisted then. Stuff happens.
Look, man, hey, I can really say it's 2020. Don't come at us for our...
For real, 2020. We have the right to make mistakes by accident.
Don't come at us for that. And look, it is what it is.